Hello, welcome back. I'm Abhishek De Silva, an undergraduate of the JAM Institute for Advanced Technology. Welcome back with the project named eShop, and today I'm gonna discuss about the design of this responsive user managing page in admin panel, which have used HTML, CSS, JavaScript as the languages and Bootstrap as the framework, and also the program of the user blocking process. So here at first let's discuss about the design of this page. Here at first I have added a text as manage all users, and then I have added an input tag relevant to the search user button, and also I have created several divs such as the profile image, username, email, mobile, and also the registered date. And also here we display the information of the relevant user in this row as the user number 1 and the profile image of the relevant user, and also the name, and also the email address, the mobile number, and also registered date. And here we use a button as block to block the user or unblock the user. And at last we have used the pagination of the Bootstrap. Here we have used the Bootstrap grid system to make these more responsive. And if I showed you the code relevant to this design, we have used the title as manage users, and then here is the text relevant to the manage all users, and also here is the input field with the type as text relevant to this button called search user, which have the classes such as button and button warning. And also here are the divs with the text as profile image, username, email, mobile, and also registered date. And also here is the row that displays the information of the relevant user as the user number as 1, and also the user profile image and the name, and also the email address, the mobile number, registered date. And here's that button to block and unblock the relevant user. At last we have used the pagination code of the Bootstrap, and I have included the JavaScript files. And if I showed you whether this design is responsive, here how it display in a large size laptop screen, and here how it display in a normal size laptop screen and the tablet screen, and we can see how it display in a large size mobile screen, and then here how it display in a medium size mobile screen. So then let's talk about the process of the manage users page. And here we can see all the users that are registered in our website. We can see all the users are listed here, and we can see the relevant names, emails, the mobile number, and also registered date is displayed. And if we click on this block button, we can see that the relevant username and the blocked message is displayed. And when we click OK, we can see that the message or the text in this button is changed to unblock, and the colors change to the green color. And if we again click on this unblock button, we can see that a message has the name of the relevant user and the text as unblocked. And then we can see that again the button is changed to the block button. So then let's move to Visual Studio Code to discuss about the program of this page. And at first I have included the connection.php file, and after that I have opened the PHP script, and I have created a variable called query, and I have stored a query as select all from the user table. And then I have created a variable called page number without assigning any value, and then through an if condition I have checked whether the page that comes through the get method is set. If so, we have assigned the value that comes through the get method by the name page in a variable called page number. And if it comes to the else of this if condition, we have assigned the value as 1 to this page number variable. And then we have called a search function by assigning the value that's stored in this query variable, and then we have stored the relevant results we get back from the database in a variable called user results here. And after that we have obtained the number of rows in it and stored that in a variable called user num, and we have created a variable called results per page, and we have assigned the value as 20. And then we have created a variable called number of pages, and we have used the ceil function here to get the rounded off value, as we are dividing the user num by the results per page. And then we have created a variable called page results set, and then we have done a calculation here. We have subtracted 1 from the page number, and we have multiplied the relevant value we get by the results per page. And then we have called a search function with the query or that stored in this variable called query, and we have concat the remaining part of the query as limit the results by the results per page. It means limit by the 20, and then keep an offset of the page results we obtain here. And then I have stored the relevant results we get back from the database in a variable called selected results set, and after that I have obtained the number of rows in it and store that in a variable called selected num. And through a for loop I have created a variable called x and assigned the value as 0, and then I have checked whether the value of this variable x is less than the selected num, and I have used an increment here. And then I have obtained the result that's stored in the selected results through the fetch task. So I can store that in a variable called selected data, and here I have echoed the value that's stored in this variable called x, and I have added one value to it, and I have echoed the value that we get back from that. And then I have opened the PHP script here, and I have called the search function with the query as select or from the profile image table, where user email equals to the email that's stored in the selected data. And then we have opened the number of rows in it, and so that in a variable called profile image num. And then through an if condition I have checked whether the profile image num is equal to 1. If so, we have obtained the result that's stored in this profile image results it, and store that in a variable called profile image data. And then as the src of this image tag, I have echoed the path that's stored in this profile image data. And if it comes to the else of this if condition, where checks whether the profile image num is equal to 1, and here I have used a default image as the src of this image. And here for this div I have used an onClick function as view message model, and I have sent a parameter as the email that's stored in the selected data. And then I will discuss about the view message model later. And I have echoed the last name and also the first name that's stored in the selected data array and as the name of the relevant user. And then I have echoed the email that's stored in the selected data and also the mobile stored in the selected data. And after that I have called the export function. I'm going to export the relevant value from the space, and I need to export the joint date that's stored in this selected data. And then I have stored the relevant value we get back from this export function in a variable called split date. And then I have echoed the 0th value of this split date array. And then after that I have used a PHP script again, and through an if condition I have checked whether the status ID of the selected data is equal to 1. If so, we have given an ID to this button as UB, and we have echoed the email that's stored in the selected data. And also on the onClick we have called a function as block user, and we have sent a parameter as email that's stored in the selected data. And then as the text of this button we have displayed the text as block. And if it comes to the else of this if condition, here too we have given the ID as UB and the email is stored in the selected data. And on the onClick we have called the block user function with the relevant email that's stored in the selected data, and also as the text we have displayed the text as unblocked. If I describe about this block user function, here is the block user function, and I have obtained the relevant parameter that's sent from the manage users.php file. And then I have created a new XML HTTP request and stored that in a variable called request here. And after that I have called an anonymous function on each change in state of this request, and then I have changed whether the status is equal to 100 and the register is equal to 4. And if so, I have obtained the response tag of this request and so that in a variable called response here. And after that I have added the response we get back from this server side, and then I have reloaded the page. And after that I have used the open function, and I have mentioned that I am using the get method, and I have sent the information to the user block process.php file, and I have binded the email by the name email here, and I have mentioned it true here to represent that I am using the hx method. And then I have sent the request to the server side. So then let's move to user block process.php file. In the user block process.php file, at first I have used the php script and I have included the connection.php file, and then through an if condition I have checked whether a email that comes to the get method is set. If not, it comes to the else of that if condition, where it displays a message as something went wrong. And then if so, we have obtained the relevant email and store the in variable called user email. And after that we have called the search function with the query as select all from the user table, where email equals to the user email, and I have stored the relevant results we get back from the database in a variable called user results here. And I have obtained the number of rows in it and stored that in a variable called user num. And after that run if condition, I have checked whether the user num is equal to 1, and then here I have obtained the results stored in this user results through a fetch assoc and store that in a variable called user data. And through an if condition, I have checked whether the status id of this user that's stored in this user data is equal to 1. If so, we have used an iud function with the query as update the user table, set the status id as 2, where email equals to the user email. And then we have a code the first name and last name that's stored in this user data, and also the text as block. And it comes to the next else if of this if condition. If this condition become false, where it checks whether the status id of this user data is equal to 2, and if so, we have called the iud function with the query as update the user table, set the status id equal to 1, where email equals to the user email. And then we have echoed the message as the last name and the first name stored in this user data, and then we have concat the value to it as the unblock. And if it comes to the else of this if condition, where it checks whether the user num is equal to 1, there displays the value as cannot find the user and please try again later. And here is the pagination process that we discussed in other pages also. So this is the process of the managing users and also the process of blocking users. And let's meet in the next video, and bye for now.